Welcome back to another video. Today we are in the Open Great League, trying out some different teams, trying out the new move updates. Here we are trying to feature the Serperior here. We got a very unique team here where we have the Gligar, a Great League Gligar going for these digs. It is going to have to shield this Ice Beam here. This Ice Beam probably would have came close to taking it out, but here we were trying to just catch a move. Luckily the Serperior is tanky enough to survive the Ice Beam, so we decided to just bait out something, and we do get the Skarmory to jump back out. This Skarmory here, I guess their whole idea here is just to farm down. I'm not sure why they're shielding, but they are able to farm us down, so they have a ton of energy. And luckily for us, we do have something in the bag that is going to resist all of these flying moves. So we're not going to be shielding this. This is Aurorus here. It's basically another shield, because we're just going to tank all of this. We go for the Meteor Beam so that we can have boosted attacks for whatever else that they're going to bring back in. They reveal that they're going to bring back in the Azumarill, and we're just going to go for another Meteor Beam, and that is boom! So because we are super boosted right now, we're just going to go for this Weather Ball. 2 times boosted Weather Ball. How much damage does it do? Relatively pretty good. We had a dig stored up, so this is a combo play here, and this should be GG's. The opponent actually ended up having Azumarill double steal, so I don't questionable shielding by my opponent, but we would have been able to farm a bunch of energy with the Aurorus, even if that Skarmory decided not to shield. So who knows what would have happened? Not exactly sure. But on to the next one. We are in the Poliwrath versus Gligar matchup. On one hand, the Poliwrath is going to be able to throw these ice punches potentially, but we are doing super effective wing attacks, fast move damage. We decided to shield the first ice punch because we don't know how much damage this ice punch is really going to do to us. I believe it doesn't KO because it's not a stab move, but it is double super effective. So moment of truth here. Do we survive? Barely. As you can see there, we took probably like 50% damage. So that was actually huge. Either way, I think we did the right thing. We shielded the first one and we let the second one go. And then now we got the huge farm down right there. So our opponent ends up switching, or they come in with their Sand Slash. The Sand Slash try to catch a move, and luckily for us, we were aware of that, and now we're just going to throw a bunch of Weather Balls. So if we don't take out this Stunfisk with this Aurorus, we're going to be in quite a bit of trouble, because the Serperior is not going to have a great matchup against that Alolan Sand Slash. So we try to get to another Weather Ball right there. Unfortunately, it does not happen. We did call their bait, and here the only chance is to farm down and just throw all the energy back at the Sand Slash, but unfortunately we are not going to be able to farm it down, and that is GG's right there. That Sand Slash in the back was kind of a big core breaker for our team. But as of like now, haven't seen a ton of Alolan Sand Slash floating around, but of course there are going to be some. Here we have the Deoxys. We definitely don't want to switch out because the Aurorus is really weak to this. They reveal that they have Thunderbolt, which we resist, which is nice. So we know that they probably have Thunderbolt and Psycho Boost. And our job here now is to just try to whittle this thing down as low as possible so we can farm it down with something in the back. I wouldn't be surprised if this is a Psycho Boost. So we decided to shield there, and we force out the Umbreon to come out. This Umbreon here is tanky, but so is our Serperior here. And they end up having back-to-back, which is great for them. We know that they're pretty much energy dry, so we're going to throw on optimal timing. This Frenzy Plant here would probably need like 2 more Frenzy Plants. But it looks like we're going to get outpaced here because this foul play doesn't quite take us out. But as you can see, we can no longer tank any more foul plays. Definitely was looking like we're gonna get farmed down. So we gotta try to just maximize energy. We just farmed down, and that was great. We decided to switch out into Aurorus here, and we know that they're eventually gonna switch out. We throw this move hoping that they shield and hoping that they would want to throw a psychic or cycle boost, but it looks like that does not happen. But we know that this Skarmory has no, or well, let me get this right. We know that Sky Tags will not do much damage. They do have the potential to have Flash Cannon, uncommon, but some of these Skarmories potentially could have the super effective Flash Cannon Steel move. So if we see that they build up to a potential Flash Cannon, then we would decide to shield. But this Skarmory was never building up to a Flash Cannon. So Juju's to our opponent right there. We wiggled out of a defense Deoxys situation, which is pretty telling of this team. Usually, defense Deoxys is a core breaker to the meta, but we are kind of playing a funky team right now. So once again here, we have a decent lead. Obviously, we got to watch out for the Blizzard here. We did not shield here because we didn't think that they had the Blizzard built, but even if they did, we kind of had to call it because our Serperior would have been able to potentially farm it down. But they did reveal that they do have the Blizzard, they just didn't go for it, and the Blizzard would have been able to take out the Gligar, but we did one shield it. So interesting pick here. They do have the Ferrothorn. This Ferrothorn is running the Thunder, so most likely it's running Power Whip and Thunder, but the Thunder is actually resisted because the ground double resists the electric, but we do take super effective as our flying type. But here we're gonna try to farm it down because we know that there's no moves that this Ferrothorn could have that we have to worry about. Our opponent ends up switching into the Heracross. This Heracross is an interesting pick because I don't know if they're aware, but Serperior does have the Aerial Ace moveset now, which would have been double super effective. So here we're just gonna farm it down, one show farm down. Now we have energy for our next Aerial Ace, and the Aerial Ace ends up just going through. So nice little team right there by my opponent, and luckily for us, it looks like Serperior was MVP right there because it basically walled the Ferrothorn in the back, and it actually luckily had a lot of energy to throw at that Heracross to take advantage of that back end right there. So once again, Gligar in the lead faced with a Stunfisk. This Stunfisk only has Rock Slides to throw at us. These Rock Slides, I probably need like four Rock Slides. Yeah, at least 4, because the next one would not KO. So that allows us to potentially go for these digs. Our opponent actually CMPs right here, so we know that we survive this. And now we're going to try to throw on optimal timing. We try to catch a Rock Slide right there. We wanted to save some energy. So our opponent ends up having the counter swap to the Noctowl. This Noctowl is going to be able to throw the Sky Tag. Luckily for us, Serperior is able to tank one of these because it is pretty tanky, for those who don't know. For this position here, we only have one choice. We need to save that energy on the Gligar, so we're just going to come in with the Aurorus. We're going to shield once here and try to farm down. Okay, our opponent actually ends up comboing play. We're gonna call that they don't throw the big charge move. Ends up being the Rock Slide, which is exactly what happens. And now this is just a one-show farm down situation. And unfortunately for us, we run into the Medicham. So they actually had a pretty meta team here. The Medicham and Stunfisk core here was A little bit tough for us in the back. Let's see here. I mean, not bad, but we're not going to have enough firepower to take this down here. So GG's to our opponent right there. Check out this team if you haven't already, and let us know if you think it's good.